Hello there, welcome back to some more Disco Elysium. In the last episode, we made a great deal of progress in the main story, and now we're going to keep going by trying to convince Titus that he has been manipulated. So let's do that right now.
It's you again. What is it?
Convince Titus he's being manipulated. You should know by now. Titus Hardy will never falter.
Okay, one of his boys will.
Just remember, it's about more than Glasia. It's about these men and Martinez. Their district. Their responsibility.
That's it then. Case closed. We're going home, Kim.
Huh? He'll get it. Go on.
Write it down, Kim. In Martinez, they just kill you because they don't like you.
Got it. Kill you because they don't like you. All because...
Because of some chick.
Bring that up one more time, and you won't get to write that report.
Yes, I understand, Alain. That's your name, right, Alain? You'll kill us. That's what they do in the Wild North.
They just hang you like in the Dark Ages, make a display of your corpse.
It wasn't that. It wasn't... We just couldn't get him down, okay?
Uh-huh.
That's it. That's the weak one. You flushed him out. Now go in for the...
Officer, you will be next if you don't shut up.
The old man reaches for his belt, but his voice is strangely calm.
He's onto you. He knows what you're trying to do.
Or what, you're gonna kill me like you killed him for no fucking reason?
We didn't kill him. We didn't even hang him. He was dead when...
Oh?
Shut up, Angus!
He was dead before you hanged him.
Fatty! Say one more thing to the cops and I'll...
The little guy hits Angus on the back of the head, a loud slap.
Dennis, stand down, or I'll beat your head in. Theo, take your hand off the belt. This isn't 31. I've got this under control.
The room falls quiet, so if quiet you can hear Fat Angus wheeze.
Angie, where's your goddamn inhaler? You sound like you're dying.
I left it home. I can't get it. I'm too fucked. I'm sorry.
Grabs his chest.
Why are you so fucking fat, Angus? Now it's all pointless. Because of you. You wasted my time. I told you, Titus. I told you just give her up.
Lizzie, your help is no longer needed here. Go tell Everard.
Fine. I'll tell him. After a long walk along the coast.
He walks off without looking back.
What just happened between these two? You're in. He's all yours. Questions.
Okay. So you didn't kill him, he was already dead.
He nods.
You hanged the corpse to cover up the real cause of death. What was it?
We're not sure. Probably a bullet. The wound was difficult to see.
So there was a wound. You should try looking for it one more time before you send the body away.
Hell yeah. I knew it. Why?
Because the girls asked us to. They were in some shit.
Girls plural? There's another girl? 2 of them? Take note of this.
Of course.
They'll probably say more about her later.
Did she kill him?
Cop, I have no idea. The girl says she didn't.
He doesn't think she did. Or at least he hopes she didn't.
And what happened Sunday night?
Glacier came down. She seemed really out of it. Drugged up, even more than usual. Bug-eyed and gurning, you know? Not in a fun way. It looked like she'd redosed after something went down. I've seen that look before. She was scared. I knew someone had died.
How did you know?
I've done this job for 10 years. I've seen it before. It's the politician in the motel room with the dead hooker scenario. Only in reverse.
Good analogy, boss.
The rat-faced man snickers.
You don't get to talk yet, Shanky. You're still on the bench. And you keep taking it easy too, Angus.
Turns back to you.
That's okay with the fat man, still wheezing there. He couldn't speak if he wanted to.
And what happened then?
We went upstairs. Sure as day the Merc was dead. There was a bullet hole through the window. Fucking dirty sheets and bottles everywhere.
He means they'd been fucking?
Right.
Tibbs patched the window. And the corpse. We hanged.
Who's Tibbs? The 8th Hardy?
Nah, he's my brother. He's in the window replacement business.
Tibbs. That's short for.
Short for Tiberius.
Yeah, good man.
Bet their father's named Atticus Hardy. Lucretia Hardy would be their sister. Anyway.
Okay. Stop being rude. If Classley didn't kill him, why the cover-up?
You may have noticed our girl's in some shit of her own.
I didn't notice anything. What kind of shit are we talking about?
The can't show up on police radar kind. There are people after her. From the old world. Where she came from.
These people, who are they?
They're powerful. Connected to the Moral Intern. She's clearly afraid for her life. Says if she showed up in your systems, she'd be ghosted away.
That's all he knows. That's all she's told him.
Mm-hmm.
And why would you help someone like that? By taking on a murder?
Why would I? I guess we abide all sorts of runaways and losers here. It's a Martinez thing.
I'm sorry I made you guys fight.
Me too.
So who killed the merc then? Any leads?
Not yet. Just some ideas. She says the shot came from outside, behind the window somewhere. So that's a clue.
What are you thinking?
I'm thinking someone's past caught up with them. Either hers or his.
Hers, you mean?
I mean the people after Klausya. Maybe the shot missed. Maybe it was meant for her.
I like that. Been thinking the same thing myself.
And you had ideas about his past too?
My dude. One of those mercenary buddies of his could have done it. They got guns, training, years of bad blood, probably. Or it could have been someone else from Crenell.
He pauses to think.
Tell you what I'd do. Check out the coast for vantage points. Maybe consult with a ballistics buddy of mine. That's what I'd do. If I wasn't too busy doing this clown dance with you.
He's calm now. Threw all that turmoil away and became himself again. These theories, not bad. Don't buy either one, but still. This guy's not as dumb as he looks.
Whose idea was it to hang him anyway? Hers?
In a manner of speaking.
Remember the 2 girls? He may be talking about the other one.
Earlier you said the girls asked for your help. Was this the other girl?
That's right. It was her idea to hang him. I liked it for political reasons. It sent a good message.
It's her, isn't it? The missing 8th Hardy. That's the other girl.
The big guy turns to Glenn, who's about to say something. The blonde shuts his mouth before a word escapes.
Don't you fucking say a word, Glenn, you little shit.
I'll say it again. All the Hardy Boys are right here, cop. That woman is just affiliated with the Hardy Boys. You don't know her, anyway.
You're gonna stonewall me if I ask more about her, aren't you?
Glad you understand that.
Thank you for this, Titus. I'll go talk to her for the last time.
You do that. Hey, cop. Before you go,
He grabs his beer and swells it in his hand and thinks of something.
she, Klausya, came to Martinez to hide. Many of us did. This is where you wash up when there's nowhere left to go. The Union takes you in. Now, she refused that protection. But
But you'd still prefer if we didn't take her away.
that's right. If we didn't take care of the people who end up here, this place would just be a couple of ruins and some cargo containers.
We'll take that into account.
The lieutenant slides his notebook into his coat pocket and turns to leave. Well, that was productive. I made very good story progress there. I've got to go speak to Klassier again. It's still early enough in the morning that I can. We've got to find out who actually shot the man, Lely. I mean, Kim's not around to stop you. Ask Klassier about what she heard from the room before you urged to the alley. She must know something. Okay, so I can do the policeman's cloak. The only thing I actually can do that I haven't done before. Yeah, put a point into suggestion so I can get her to try and do the thing again. Then I can do it again and put another point to suggestion and try again if I want to. That's where I was heading right now. Right, also, I'm nearly at the Wasteland of Reality. 11 minutes left. I wonder what I unlocked for that, because that was a long one, so I'm hoping it's quite a good buff, or at least not a massive negative buff. In the meantime, let's speak to Classy, I guess, because that's something I can do right now. And also, let's check out the window to see if it's the right time yet.
Behind the dockworkers, a ceiling-height window. The hawthorn branches scrape the glass.
You've been
like
here for a long
bony
time.
Fingers.
I need perception for that. Which I can get, but not yet. Kim's perception's pretty low, because he hasn't noticed I'm wearing the boots. Or maybe he does notice and just doesn't care. Glacier. You've been very naughty. Extremely naughty. I hope she's not gone. That would be very bad for me. Please don't be gone. Okay, good. You're still here. Hello.
It's always good to see you.
She cracks a really smile, leaning back against the railing.
Something in her demeanor has changed. She's tired, consigned to her fate, to being here with you and what's to come.
Okay, let me look her in the eye real quick just to see.
She looks back. Time moves slowly.
Wasn't that
The
far away.
triangles of her face rearranging into a weary smile. Don't worry. We will protect you from her beauty. We will consult you through the reefs and sounds of her persona. We will see through deceits. You are shielded. You are wise. You are advised. There are muscles on long white bones that line her limbs, just below the silver jumpsuit.
What's happening?
Nothing. Just time passing. Don't worry. You are not a fool. Anything out of the ordinary and you would be notified. Air moves in your windpipe. Your heart beats. You're a detective. Get back to detecting.
Am I being beguiled?
She presses her elbows against her waist and slowly turns her head.
Avert your eyes.
The strange moment ends. It was brief, no longer than 2.2 seconds.
The Hardy Boys told us what really happened.
I understand.
You don't look surprised. You're expecting this.
I knew there was a chance you'd get them to tell you. It's what you do. You're the police. For what it's worth, I'm sorry for wasting your time.
This is good. Clear the air first, between you two. Then move on to
I'm just going to say it's fine. I understand why you did it.
Is it? Something is off here. Shush. I can't hear what she's saying. Let the mist speak. She's tall and thin and tired. A twig trying so hard not to break.
If you knew we would find out eventually, why did you waste our time?
Because of the Hardys. I couldn't just dispense with them. They were only trying to help me. Out of the shit I'd gotten into.
Is she implying the Hardy Boys are the law?
The Hardy Boys are not the law. We are.
I know that. But the people around here, they don't see it that way. And if I am to stay here, I need to get along with them.
Cool. I'm satisfied with the explanation.
I am not. There is more here, miss.
You're right. There's more.
More?
You answer to the coalition government, and by extension, the moral intern.
She reaches for a new cigarette.
Briefly glancing over her shoulder to the sea, as she's done time.
You think we might be in on it?
A grand expanse of water reaches over the bay and to the horizon. Grey and pale violet in the morning light.
What lies beyond it?
The pale, the Muindi Isola, the Occident, and then Aranye, the old world.
Is that why you're looking over your shoulder? You're afraid of the moral intern?
You share a database with them. You send people to their courts.
She likes the cigarette. What's going on? What did you do?
Just business. But bad business for some people in the moral intern. If I show up in your records, officer, they will find me. They will
What happens if they do?
They will kill me, sir. If you file my name, take me in for questioning, enter me into the moral intern mill, well, then I'm fucked. For nothing. This murder didn't have anything to do with me.
Fucked. People after her? Moral intern people? This isn't Orionese lit. Actually, this murder did have a little to do with her.
What did you do to have these people after you?
It's not nice, but it's not illegal. Not here in Revachol, or even in Orania.
What exactly did you do?
Industrial espionage. I joined a business collective with the intention of betraying them. I did my job well enough to be asked to do it again, with a bigger company. The kind you really, really don't fuck with. I took their ledgers, 2 decades worth of accounting.
I need the names of the companies involved and who hired you.
He taps on his notebook.
The job was Lou's-Douin County Savings Bank. They sound small, but they're part of the Lou-Scott conglomerate. That was the second job. The first was some printer company. You wouldn't know them. As to who hired me for the job, I don't know. But they're after me too, along with Lou-Scott and their friends in the MI. Once you're done in the competitive intelligence circuit, you don't have allies. You're radioactive.
Lowe's cap. These people engineer financial disasters in second world countries. The conglomerate also includes the Bank of Consecration, Airberg, and the popular Papalolo line of dairy products.
Sure, there are people who have done much worse than that.
Sure. I'm not a war criminal, but it was bad. People lost their jobs. Good people, too, not just C-suite.
She shakes her head at the thought.
A lot of people got hurt. But that's just more of my shit you shouldn't have to deal with. You're solving a murder.
Said you studied Orionese lit. What is with this fugitive stuff?
I did. I also had a side job selling insurance that I was really good at. Got picked up by a bank. Competitive intelligence, they called it. After that, I sort of, transitioned out of the whole culture scene.
What happened here the night he died?
We were there. Together. In bed, I mean.
Tell me exactly what happened.
Okay. He was in a kneeling position. He had just entered me.
That was not what I meant.
I was on my back, looking at him. I heard the window behind me shatter, and I turned to look. There was a hole in the glass. I turned back to him. His eyes were looking through me, and his mouth was open. Dumb. I could see. I could...
Her chest rises and falls with each word. She keeps herself together and says it.
I knew he was dead. Before he fell down on top of me.
You don't have to continue if you don't want to.
No, I want to. Let's get this done.
It's okay. Tell us as much as you're comfortable with.
He waits for her to continue.
He was heavy. I pushed him off and he fell to the floor. There. He only had his boots on. I bit the pillow, not to scream, then ran downstairs.
There's a long pause. She just stands there, her arms at her sides.
I waited for the second shot to come. For me. I thought there would be one. It never came.
Sorry this happened to you.
So am I.
She looks down, her cigarette has singed her fingers.
She throws it away and immediately proceeds to light another one.
What time was this? When did it happen? It would help us if you could be as precise as possible.
11:30 to 12:15. I don't know the exact time. Around midnight.
It's okay. Were you inebriated?
Not as much as usual. He'd done a line, plus other things. I was drinking.
Wait. Titus said she was gurning her jaw off, much more than usual.
Titus said you looked pretty high.
Oh, yeah. I did one of his lines, just to clear my head.
Good thinking. Clear your head. You should clear your head. Get into his mindset.
Did you hear or see the shooter in the course of this?
No,
What did you do then?
nothing. I was trapped. I was stuck in my room downstairs. I got some clothes on and crawled back up, drew the blinds. Blood was coming from his mouth. Not a lot, just a little. He was still on the floor, slouched. I couldn't be there with him anymore. So I ran down and out of my room, into the hallway, down the stairs. I knew there would be people there.
What happened after you ran downstairs?
Sylvie was tending the bar. A lot of people were there. The Hardys were at the table in front of the stage. I think the Union box was full. Ruby was there too. They were having such a good time. I sat down and they all welcomed me. I didn't even have to say anything. Ruby knew something was wrong.
Ruby?
Before we continue, who's Ruby?
Ruby. You know, the leader.
The leader? Of what?
The Hardy Boys.
She says as if it's self-evident. I thought Hardy was the leader of the Hardy Boys.
Well, nominally, yes. Ruby's the one they go to when things happen, like things they need taken care of. She's the organizer.
This Ruby, in her phrasing, is entrusted with great power. She trusts her. So do the others.
Okay, let's go on. What then?
Well, Ruby said let's talk upstairs. I showed her the room. I've known these people since December. They know my situation, that I can't leave a paper trail. Ruby was the first one I told.
Okay.
She said she'd take care of this. It's what she does, you know, take care of things. I helped her get the body to the bathroom. We used a belt to pull him up under the shower, to keep him upright.
To produce lividity, matching a hanging?
Yes.
We completely missed the tampering. Looks like you got there in time. What was this, 20 minutes after death?
About 20, yes. Ruby explained it would make the blood... You know what he does.
She looks at the ground and raises her light brown eyes to meet yours. Then what did you do?
Ruby went outside to talk to Titus and the boys. I was just looking at Lely in the bathroom. I had to put his clothes back on. His armor, too. It was tough, but I've seen him take it off and put it on many times. It took Ruby maybe half an hour to come back with Titus. I'd gotten him ready by then. They carried him out. I knew what they were going to do. Make it look like a hanging. Ruby said they would.
What did you do while they were hanging him?
Ruby said to wait here. She also said I wouldn't see her for a while. That we should lay low or something. So I did.
This Ruby, where's Ruby now?
I don't know. I haven't seen her since.
We will need to take this question to the Hardy Boys.
Interesting. Why did this Ruby go through so much trouble to hide something someone else did? Look into this later.
When it happened, did you hear a gunshot?
When he was shot? I may have. I don't know. I couldn't hear anything over the glass exploding.
The people after you could have killed him.
That's the first thing that went through my head when I heard the glass break.
And?
I thought they'd found me. They've killed him to punish me. All last week, I've tried not to talk to anyone or be seen with anyone.
She looks at her cigarette.
So they wouldn't be hurt. I've come to understand, however, this is paranoia. What happened didn't have anything to do with me.
It probably didn't.
Or I don't know anything anymore. All I do is wait here.
She looks at the table.
We can't go after Loose Cap. Not yet. There are other, saner leads.
I don't ask you to, Lieutenant. If there's one thing I know, it's that you'll get nothing from there.
Why did you call the cops if you were hiding?
Because I'm an idiot.
The answer comes fast.
Which is an indicator of truth. Idiot. She's nothing of the sort.
So you would have us believe, but you're not.
You have to understand, the people around here, no one was making the call, and he kept rotting. And then they picked his clothes off, and that little fucker threw stones at him. He kept throwing stones at him for 3 days. I could hear the thud. Thud. So I called you. I hope with all my heart it's not the last thing I do in Ravachol.
She definitely called the cops. That was task complete. It could not have been a lie. That is impossible.
When was the window changed?
Last week. Angus and Titus's brother, I think he's called Tibbs, took care of it.
She takes a jag.
You should have another look at that window after this. Reconstruct the scene. It's right there.
In her bedroom inside?
Yes, you see the glass sparkling out of the corner of your eye.
You think we're done here for now?
She nods, silently. She doesn't even smoke. Just picks up the cold coffee and holds it in her hands.
I believe that she didn't kill him. The lieutenant glances you, then the door.
He's thinking, are we done here? Or maybe you should take her to the station for safekeeping. She lied to you. And she's a flight risk.
Fuck no.
No, that won't be necessary. Just leave her alone.
If
She's
she's
been
right,
through enough. She doesn't need this police brutality.
if she's right, then she will die the second I put her in custody.
Multiface, I'm beginning to doubt your judgment. Are you sure you're not sleeping on the post? You have to wake this one up with force if you want to continue pushing her.
In God's name, wake up.
But we are awake, sire. She has been forthcoming with sordid details women usually conceal.
Damn it.
Most shocking
could have got
details
equipment
of the
to do this.
sexual kind. We are a bulwark, unbreached. Get a hold of yourself just once, will you? Try to look past the sexually lax morals and do some police work. So you say, but give us one example of deceit. Just one example.
I get nothing. You're right, wise counsel. It is silly of me to imply she's lied.
Gosh, she's so young, isn't she?
I'm just going
She
with
would
my
look
dramatic head.
spectacular in a starry
Dramatic,
role.
sorry.
Be careful not to look too long into her soon-to-be famous face, lest it make you look like an indecisive suitor. It looks like this one's not waking up. You'll have to do it without pushing her further. At least for now.
Let's return to this later.
Wasteland of reality. Congrats, you're sober. It will take a while for your body to remember how to metabolize anything that isn't sugar from alcohol. So you're going to be pretty ravenous soon. Eat plenty. You can expect your coordination and balance to improve in a couple of weeks. In 2 months, you might start sleeping like a normal person. Full recovery will take years though. It'll be depressing, and it'll be boring. Don't expect any further rewards or hand claps. This is how normal people are all the time.
My sobriety, baby. Insomnia down. Inland Empire down. Suggestion down. Psych up. Return of the self. No positive effects from alcohol anymore. So I'm not -2 anymore. I'm sober. It's boring, but I'm sober. I mean, it's kind of odd, right? I lost 1 in Suggestion and 1 in Inland Empire, but then gained 1 in the entire psych tree. So it cancels out the loss of Inland Empire and the loss of Suggestion. So it's not too bad. I've got Authority 7. I'll take it. Thank you. Yeah, all of Psych went up. Or at least the ability to get more points in Psyche has gone up. Okay. Let's visually calculus this crime scene, shall we? I mean, unless someone was already on the roof, it doesn't make much sense. Or it could have been a sniper from a even higher block, you know? I'm trying to visualize it, but I'll let my visual calculus do that. Let me get my detective clothes on. Alright.
This window is pristine on the inside, unlike the one next to it. Light from the desk lamp reflects off the glass in an untarnished golden halo.
What happened here?
Golden light melts away into the blue, glassy darkness of your mind. In it are 2 neon-lit shapes, a man and a woman on the single bed.
What position are they in?
Like the witness said, the man is kneeling, the woman is on her back. It's the night of March 4th and a shot has just been fired.
Okay, yeah, so it could have been from any of these places. Up by the church, by the campsite, by the radio tower. I think it could possibly be on the top of this apartment block too.
The man looks directly at the woman. The shot's possible directions converge in his mouth. A ray cast from somewhere outside, entering
Oh, I
his
see.
brain,
That's why it has to be from here, because otherwise it wouldn't hit his mouth.
ending him.
Where does it come from?
From the roof outside, location A prime. The glass fractures around the bullet hole. Shards face inwards like a corona behind the woman's back.
Inspect the ghostly figures.
The man does not know the bullet has entered his brain. He never will. Death comes faster than the realization.
Okay, so he died quickly at least. Have a look at point A, the roof.
The ray cast from the man's mouth unravels into a fan of possible directions, all on the roof at first. The shot could have come from any of them. This is composite location A prime, most likely of the origin points.
Shouldn't there be gun residue outside?
There could have been. Then the rain and slush and wind washed it away. This was more than a week ago.
So I'm what, 80% sure the roof is where the shot was made from?
72%, with a weapon that's good for medium range, like a rifle or sports pistol. This is a good short distance, but not too short. The perpetrator aimed with their back against the railing, or possibly kneeling for precision. This would explain why it only took them one shot. The lights were on in here. Outside it was dark. It was like shooting fish in an aquarium, a well-lit aquarium. The victim opened his mouth to let the bullet in. Neither of them would have seen anything outside in the darkness, too busy with their own bodies.
Could the shot have come from inside the room, a closer point?
Point X would contradict the woman's testimony, rendering the entire proposition void. These figures would be wiped out, detective.
Yeah, if it's inside the room, nothing she said makes sense. Are there any arguments against A prime, the roof?
None that you've found thus far, but that doesn't mean there aren't any.
Could there have been another point of origin further away?
That's a 28%, yes. In this model, the shot could have come from a greater distance. Nothing excludes the possibility. Should we extrapolate to include every possible point of origin in Martinez?
Extrapolate the radius to include all of Martinez.
According to your map of the district, this shot could have come from a wide angle of locations, starting with the northern edge of the abandoned boardwalk, ending with an islet in the bay. Let's call them B prime.
More precisely?
B prime for boardwalk, B double prime for Land's End, and B triple prime for the islet, detective. There may be smaller points in between, but those are too fine to zoom in on.
Let's have a look at B prime, the boardwalk.
700 meters away. The likeliest of these B positions, 20% chance. A skilled sniper could have made the shot, provided he had a safe sniper's nest. Even with the light on inside, we're talking military training.
Yes.
At that distance, the perpetrator would have had to take wind direction into account.
Wind direction, ballistics, bullet drop, everything. Let's look at B double prime.
1.2 kilometers away, the least likely of these positions. Let's say 3%. A truly skilled sniper could have done it, possibly from a tent. No, too far-fetched.
No, I don't think so either. It's downwards, you've got to shoot upwards. Let's look at B triple prime.
1 kilometer away, an unlikely point of origin. Beyond the docks somewhere, on an islet in the Bay of Martinez perhaps. There are islets there, badly charted as they may be.
I've never been on this part of the map.
The shot would have been a small miracle, 5% likelihood. There is an extremely narrow field of view from the bay to the window, between Rue de Saint-Ghislain 10 and 33A. The angle would have been extreme, and access to the islets is questionable.
So he thinks this is the least likely, this one's less likely than that, and this is the most likely out of the B, which is why it's B first prime. Kim, do you think the shot could have come from further than the roof in Martinez?
From where, precisely?
Let's say B prime the boardwalk, B double prime Land's End, B triple prime the islet.
I see you have given this a lot of thought. Are those the locations you've singled out in addition to the roof? And what is the likelihood, in your opinion, that it came from a further distance?
Much less than from the roof, but still.
Okay, well, we should see if there is gunshot residue or sniper nests if we go down the coast. Rule these spots out one by one. It would be the diligent thing to do. Until then, personally, I'm going with the roof version.
Sure.
A simple hypothesis can be wrong, but it's something to build on.
Okay, no worries. I'm going to do that right now. That's something to give me experience. And while I'm down there, I can do the old lady's suggestion. I'm not going to do the old lady. That's not what I said. Don't take it out of context. God damn it. It's fine. I don't care. I've said some weird shit over the years. I'm just a weird guy. That's why. Lovely. Alright. Hello, officer. Not officer. Friend.
Again? I can't believe this shit.
Look at us. We're from the same police station.
I'm going to say no. Just to see what you'll say to that. What'd you say?
Yeah, probably not. I don't remember you from anywhere.
God fucking shit.
He pinches the root of his nose.
None of this is great news for him. Okay, I was clearly wrong. He is a firefighter.
I just don't know who you are, bro. I'm very sorry. You mean nothing to me. I think he was my old partner. And then I had one of my, drink binges and told him to fuck off. And he was like, okay. Well, I've got a couple of things to do. First of all, let's speak about the armor. Hello, Alice.
Inside, you see a set of steering wheels.
Alice, who the fuck
a
is
radio
Alice?
microphone.
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist you?
Did you find out about the owner of the armor boots?
Yes. It took some convincing, but I got the mercenary's name and a few biographical details. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
The lieutenant leans in to listen, notebook in hand.
Shoot.
That suit of armor was issued to an Oranese citizen named Ellis Kortenaer. That's E-L-L-I-S Kortenaer. Exact date of birth, unknown. He was signed into the Lelystad County Neonatal Care Unit on 28th of February, 09.
That's a horrible way to spell this. Use the phonetic alphabet. Echo, Lima, Lima, India, Sierra, Kilo, Oscar, Romeo, Tango, Echo, November, Alpha, Echo, Romeo. The reason why we use the phonetic alphabet over the phone is because you can't mistake the words for other words. Just saying it could be anything. Neonatal care unit.
He was found as a newborn in a leaf compactor near an abandoned farm. He spent 4 months in the neonatal unit, survived apparently, and was assigned to a foster family at 2.
According to Klasia, Lele said his real name wasn't really his. Perhaps that's because he was fostered.
This is what the ICP knows about him. He was raised by foster parents, entered the Eastbrand Military Academy in Vredefort at 17, then served in the Oranese forces till he was honorably discharged in 41, just a year before the Seminese conflict. Then the armor followed him to Seminine, or at least I assume it did. And that's it. There are no records of his employment in Crenel, or any of its other incarnations, or him even entering Revachol.
Well, he was found in a leaf compactor.
It's a garden tool used to press leaves into these cubes. It's
Yeah, I know.
the details the hospital had, the only detail in these files. So I thought it would be good for you to know.
It is. Thank you, Alice.
Any information on his foster parents?
None, officer. Sorry.
So all we have to connect him to Crenel is the armor.
Even that is a small miracle. These organizations usually double-check their inventory. Thank you, Alice. Great work.
No problem, Lieutenant.
A compliment from Lieutenant Kitsuragi. Not bad.
Well, we have his name and service record now.
A name. This is very good. Elise Kortenaer.
He says to himself.
Sometimes police work is about human dignity. About giving back names to anonymous victims.
I'm glad the inquiry was helpful to your investigation, officer. Did you have any other questions?
I'm done with the radio for now. Thank you, Alice.
57, over and out.
In the cabin,
Alice, you're a good one. You're a real one. When everyone else in the precinct treats me like shit. I know you're just a radio operator, but I say just, I mean you're not part of the precinct. But you helped me out there, and I really appreciate it. Now, I should get like a plus 27 check for this because I know the bullet hole is there. So how could I know the bullet hole is there and then not find the bullet? You know what I mean? Unless the body's
his
gone.
eyes are still
There we go.
glowing red.
Knows there's a bullet in
guarding
there.
over the freezing corpse hidden inside its belly.
Okay. Search the body one more time thoroughly.
Your arms reach out and your eyes close, as if by their own volition. It's dark all around. You feel cold, slippery flesh, first with your fingertips, then under the palm of your hand.
Here we go.
His face, his cheeks, his nose, his fat, swollen lips. Like a spider, your hand crawls over his features. Everything is silent.
Put your fingers in his mouth. I did get a plus 13 for knowing the bullet's there.
The oral cavity is cold and moist. A ball-like tongue attaches itself to the base of the mouth, lolling around like a scallop. You're on the right track.
Play with it, this feels right.
The tongue moves freely in the cavity. The mucus of the mouth is slippery, delicate to touch. From the soft meat, teeth are budding. Hard pearls of bone in the gums and in the back of the mouth. Can you feel it? You're so close. Rip his jaws open now. Look in.
Open your eyes and look.
A vision of black and dark red death, pried open by your naked hands and studded with teeth. Looks like he's laughing. Death fumes rising from the throat, and there, in the back of his mouth, above the bell of the uvula, right in the soft palate, you see a hole, barely visible to the human eye. It is swollen shut, almost vanished. No larger than 0.4 centimeters in radius. The edges appear darkened.
That's what I was wondering. How can you not see the gaping hole in the back of his head? But if it's swollen shut, then it would just look like a scar.
An abrasion collar. This is what we're after.
Abrasion collar.
Abrasion collar.
The lieutenant looks in. There's a pen in his hand. His notebook is open at the copy paper. Touch with your finger gently.
A black trickle of liquid runs into his throat from the wound.
Put your finger in.
Your index fits right in there. A tight tunnel of flesh opens up. Tissue damage. Wide enough for 2 fingers. As you push both in, you reach through his mouth, right into his brainstem.
Brainstem?
Yes, that's what this part is called. You've seen the drawings. You've studied them.
Feel around first.
The basal ganglia feels clumpy. The bullet has torn apart his reptilian complex. This man will never sleep again. Never wake.
Let's push deeper.
Your fingers slide into the remains of his limbic system. There is no resistance. It's gelatinous. The slug-like structures are damaged too. The tearing extends deep into both hemispheres.
The cavity's here, cut right between the hemispheres.
The lieutenant answers with the sound of his pen on paper.
Let's push deeper again.
Your fingers are all the way in now, reaching toward the inside of his skull. The cavity goes further, but the entry wound isn't wide enough for the rest of your hand to follow. All the muscles in your body harden. Time to enter him.
Wriggle in.
Your fingers reach toward his skull. His cerebral cortex feels like jelly. Cold jelly. Strange fluid streams down your wrist as you push deeper until you feel it on the tip of your finger.
The bullet.
Sharp, serrated material. The edges cut right into your skin. This must be the bullet.
Let's fish out the bullet. Oh, yes. Beautiful.
You pick the sharp metal bullet between your index and middle finger. With your face twisting from pain and concentration, all you need to do is just...
Slowly pull your fingers
The
out.
inside of the head feels cold and smooth, like a glove. Sweat dripping down your brow. Careful not to lose the prize between your fingers.
If I lose it in the wound, it could go fucking anywhere.
With a plop, your hand emerges from the mouth, covered in blood up to the wrist. Between your fingers, a small flower, a blossom made of lead.
A bullet.
The lieutenant puts a small bag marked evidence into it. Drop it in. There you go, Kim.
The bullet falls in the bag, leaving a smattering of blood on the plastic. He raises the bag under his eyes and says,
A non-caliber. Rifle. Some kind of brittle alloy. Fractured on impact.
Keep it, Lieutenant, as a gift.
No, you deserve it. We can log it later.
The lieutenant drops the bag in a bloody hand. It feels light.
We need to add an item to the injury list. Injury number 4. Oval entry wound with an abrasion collar.
That's what number
Soft
4 was
palate,
for.
back of mouth. High velocity. Temporary cavity in brain tissue. Small exit wound on the occiput. How does that sound?
Correct.
Opinion, fatal injury.
This concurs with the Hardy Boy story and Classius.
And one last thing. We should amend injury number 3, ligament mark. Treatment. It's obvious the Hardy Boys tampered with
We
it.
should have known.
I had my doubts. There were no signs of a struggle on his hands, no claw marks on his neck. But still.
His brow furrows, while his eyes glaze over. The lieutenant looks regretful for not figuring this out before.
I think I need to wash myself.
Oh, you really, really do. I am glad to hear you say that. Your room in the Whirling in Rags should come with a bathroom. Be sure to make use of it in the evening.
Maybe the bullet holds more answers.
Yes, we should take a closer look at it. I am certain it has more to tell us.
This little thing could reveal much about the weapon that shot it.
What happens next?
We bag the corpse and carry him to the holding pen of my kinema. I can transport him to processing myself, but I will be gone for the rest of the day.
You'll be gone. What should I do in the meanwhile?
Work on the case. Tend to personal matters. Try not to do anything too dangerous. An officer needs backup in a neighborhood like this. I'll leave that choice to you. And one more thing. Great work, detective.
The word lingers in the air of the basement. Far away, ice cream makers are buzzing, and the sea wind blows outside. Detective.
Tell me something, dead man.
Shoot, Looney Rooney.
How'd you like it in the fridge?
I like it a lot, brother. This really is your finest hour. You're a genius. A regular Corporal Angelo.
Enough.
Come back later, Corporal. Amuse yourself with my
Let's
frank
bag him, Tim.
manners
Take him
and
away.
my
The lieutenant takes the body away, you work
memento
alone for the rest of the day.
features.
All right.
Takes out a shiny black body bag and starts pulling the plastic of the dead man's face.
I will need a little help carrying him. You take the hands, I'll take the legs.
Bag the corpse, drag to the motor carriage. Okay. So he's gone. Wash off the dead smell. Determine where the shot came from. I can do this on my own. I can ask Classier about Sunday night while I'm in the nighttime. Okay. See you guys next time when we explore alone and try and solve where the bullet came from. That's my first guess. See you then. Goodbye.